All right, team, we're going to be doing Thursday's phase 3. We're going to be working now for 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and we're going for 5 rounds with that minute transition in between the exercises. The first exercise up is going to be Landmine Deadlift, so very similar to the exercise that we're doing on Tuesdays in phase 2. We're not actually going to set up any kettlebells or any modifications for this one. We can just make the landmine weight very light if we need to. Okay, so putting like a 10 or a 15 on the end of a barbell makes the landmine deadlift seem significantly easier. So, landmine deadlift, we're going to think about getting that good hip hinge. Remember, feet nice, good, shoulder apart. I'm going to drive that hips back. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab with the hands, do like a little staggered position. What I want to do here is as I drive the hips forward, that barbell needs to stand tall, and I'll squeeze the glutes at the top. I won't get the same extension as I would into a barbell here, because the barbell here is going to be pointed at me a little bit, but that's okay. We're not worried about like that. So we're going to think about squeezing those glutes, good extension. We are going to find the floor every time and really find that width of extension when we're standing tall if we can. We're going to make sure that we're getting nice and tall, tap, make sure the hips are moving with the bar throughout this exercise. Okay? So it's going to be the landmine deadlift. We're going to be coaching that up. It's going to be a lot easier than coaching the deadlifts on Monday. A good chance for people to get stronger. Station number 2, we're going to be plyometric. So we're going to try to get as many people as possible to jump ropes that can do jump rope. Okay? So inside of 20 seconds, we do not have time for people to be making mistakes all the time and catching their feet. So if they have any sort of struggle, I'll show you guys a modification for that. But those who can, looking to jump rope, remember, jump roping is keeping the wrists nice and tight to the body. This is not jump roping. Okay? We're not swinging our arms in giant circles. Also, we're trying not to jump with tucking our feet behind us. We're trying to keep everything tight. Less movement, the better when it comes to jump roping. Okay? Now, if they can't jump rope, but they can jump, we're going to go to plank hops. Okay? That's going to be a substitute. If they can't jump at all, we're going to go to medicine ball slams. Okay? So really not much exertion out of doing a toe tap on a weight plate. So it's jumping, and we're not jumping, we're going to slams. Okay, so that's going to be station number 2. Station number 3, we're going to be doing what's called a seated band row. So we're going to go from a high attachment. You're going to see all of the red, black, maybe even some purple bands attached up here. What we're going to be doing is taking a seat, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. What you're going to do is you're going to look straight forward. So watch their eyes on this one. Make sure they're not looking up. From there, we're going to pull it down the base of that rib cage, pulling those shoulder blades back and together. Control that 1-2 on the way back up, and then back down at that nice 1-2 count. So make sure we're getting those arms all the way out again, and then all the way into that belly button or that base of that rib cage when they're doing that seated. Now this one, they can just adjust resistance by going heavier or lighter, but the only reason you guys would have to do it standing is if you had someone who had a hard time getting up and down from the floor. Okay? So that's going to be the third exercise. Pretty straightforward, seated band row. Exercise 3, sorry. Exercise number 4 is actually going to be what we call snow angels, or we're going to be doing it on our fronts. So we're actually going to use sliders, so sliders, snow angels. It's going to be positioned on our hands. What we're going to be doing is starting with those sliders out in front of us. So we're going to get nice and long, and I'm going to push hard into the ground as I move these sliders. I want to create a lot of pressure. And then as I push into the sliders, I'm going to go out to the side like I'm doing a snow angel. So I'm going to go up, push, stand up, and then back to the starting position. Now I got 20 seconds. This is a pretty tough exercise for them to be in that mid-back and lower back region. So we're going to get a lot of pressure through here. Roll back down under control. Press hard, up, down, back under control. If you have some people who are complaining about lower back pain now, or they just cannot get into that extension, we're going to think about holding the seal pose. So it looks like this, kind of resting on the arms, like that Sphinx. So they're looking about more support just right here, learning to work on creating some extension through the thoracic. Okay? So it's going to be the substitute for not being able to do the slider angel pose. Okay? So that is the 4th exercise. The 5th exercise is another plyometric. So we are going to be moving, jumping again, but now we're going to be doing it laterally. So with the lateral, we have the lines already spaced out. We're just going to be jumping back and forth over those lines as quick as we can. Okay? If you have an individual who can't jump, just do a quick 2-step shuffle. Have them move their body back and forth as quick as possible inside of that 20 seconds. We don't have a lot of time, so we have to move quick.
All right, guys, the finisher for this one is actually gonna be a core finisher. So what we're gonna do is a 5-minute AMRAP, and Nate's gonna go through 4 exercises, and each one has a different rep range. So we are gonna have this written up on the board. So the first one's gonna be 5 climbing planks. So all the way up and all the way down, that's 1. He's gotta go through 5 total of those. Our modification for that is actually gonna be a hand lift. So he's gonna do 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, so forth on that one. Then from there, we're gonna do 10 reverse crunches. So on reverse crunch, we have the long leg position where his legs go all the way up. As he comes up, full extension. We can always modify that too to where we just tuck the knees off the ground so he's not getting as much extension off the ground. And our third modification is gonna be a dead bug. So all the way in and all the way out on that. The third exercise we're gonna do is called a weighted sit-up. So I have a dumbbell there for Nate. He's gonna use that. You can use any weight. So you can use medicine balls, anything you can think of, whatever weight they'd want. We're gonna do a weighted sit-up all the way up. He's got 15 of these. Try to get that chest tall as he comes all the way up. Control back down. Our modification for this one, we can do hands and knee crunch if needed, but really what I want them to do is put their feet into the wall and do a wall sit-up. I'm trying to force people to actually get full sit-ups. The hands and knee crunches are almost too easy sometimes, so I'm trying to force them to engage their core by using the wall. And the last one we're gonna do, so it's 5, 10, 15, and 20 pledge planks. So on a pledge plank, it's gonna be slow and controlled. We'll just count on each side. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth to 20. Now our modification is gonna be a plank step out on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 total on that instead of a hand lift. So again, on this one, we're focused on the core. You're gonna need a little more demo time for this one, so make sure that you start your demos a little bit earlier on this.